Hi guys, it's Simon from SA Tuning. Today I wanted to talk about the dealer tools that we have available for you to be able to purchase so you can become one of our authorised tuners. There are a lot of tools out there, there's a lot of information out there, but maybe nothing that's really condensed down so it's quite easy to understand what you get, what you don't get, what your expectations are and what they're not. There are a lot of tuning companies out there that offer slave equipment like this, but it's not just the tools that you need to know about as well. It also helps to know, well, what are their service like? Okay, great, they could be open 10 hours a week, but if you do a file and there's something wrong with the car and they can't help you diagnose what's potentially wrong with the car, then you're still lost. You might be able to do a file at 10 o'clock at night, but if there's no support, what's the point? You know, so it's looking at all those things as well, but I'll go through the tools firstly. So what we offer, and the main tool that we normally supply it's a DIMSPORT New Genius. Okay, so this tool for us we find has the largest coverage out there. It's also relatively cheaply priced. It's a full standalone system. Okay, so when you're reading and writing to a vehicle, the software, it doesn't need a power supply and it doesn't need a Windows computer involved during the reading and writing process, which makes it far more stable than most of the others out there. Okay, so this tool, we've got a little board here to tell us what we can and what we can't do, and so hopefully the more ticks a tool has, then you would assume that that would be the better it is. Well, mostly that's the case as well. So for coverage with this tool, it will do old stuff, new stuff, Japanese stuff. It will do even like the brand new Bosch MG1 and MD1 ECUs. Now a lot of those will be able to be read and written through the OBD port by an ID file, which is pretty cool on the BMW stuff. Volkswagen Audi Group stuff, we're not there yet, but no one's there yet through the OBD port currently. So that is due to be released at some point with another tool which is CMD, but we'll get onto that anyway. But yeah, so price wise, we sell this tool for £1,750. Okay, so it's inclusive of VAT, and you get 2 free files with the tool anyway. So what can it do? Well, it can't do bench, but it can do EDC 16 ECUs, which is the diesel version, and all the earlier ECUs. There's like loads of ECUs it can do, which is even earlier than that. It can do the newer MED 17 and EDC 17 ECUs found in most of the newer diesels and petrol vehicles, and it can also do MG1 and MD1 in BMW groups, and obviously you can do it all through the OBD. Boot mode it can't do. So bench is when you pull the ECU out of the car but you don't open the ECU where you just pin out to it. Boot mode is when you actually have to open the ECU and actually pin out on the board itself, which is something that at the moment is becoming less and less and less and less and less that you need to do that. So that's pretty cool. So coverage, we would say that this is excellent. And honestly, if you're really not into computers, you're not into understanding everything, then this tool is so easy. It takes all its power off the OBD port. As I say, there's no Windows computer involved during the reading and writing process. Everything is so self-explanatory. Honestly, you'd have to be a little bit silly to be able to mess it up. The other nice thing is with this tool, it will not let you write in a file that is not correct for that exact car. Not even the ECU, not even the software. If the VIN number doesn't match with what it's going to write it into, it will not let you do it. So you cannot, under any circumstances, write in the wrong file, which is awesome. Okay, so that's the DIMSPORT Genius. The next tool that we have is, if I can get it out of the box, is the DIMSPORT New Trace Data. Okay, so this will allow you to do things on the bench with the ECU out of the vehicle. What will this do? Well, the nice thing is it actually does a huge amount. So will it do an MG1, MD1, brand spanking new? Yes. Will it go through the OBD port? No, because that's not what it's designed for. It's designed to be able to read ECUs out of the car. Will it do MED 17 and EDC 17? Yes. Will it do EDC 16 and earlier? Yes. Will it do bench? Yes. Will it do boot? Yes. Now this, we only sell for £1,500. But bearing in mind that you cannot do OBD stuff with this. So these two together, the DIMSPORT Genius and the Trace Data, there's pretty much not many ECUs you won't be able to do if you have both of them. If you have the DIMSPORT on its own, yes, you will come across ECUs that you will not be able to do, as with any tool really. But with the DIMSPORT Genius and TrustData together, there's pretty much not many tools out there. This will enable you to read an ECU on the bench without opening it. It will enable you to read an ECU on the bench with opening it. So you can get all of the information, not just the flash data that you'll need to remap the vehicle, but it will get all of the information so you can start cloning ECUs and do all sorts of funky stuff like that. So coverage wise, again, we would say is excellent. So these are the main tools that we supply, which is Genius and TrustData. A, ease of use. B, the stability of these tools are genuinely amazing, especially when it's standalone read and write to the car. No Windows computer, it can't crash on you. You can't brick a car when it dies, because the power is taken out of the OBD port. If the car's on, then the Genius is going to be powered up. So yeah, these two are really cool. This is what we sell most of the time. This is what we use most of the time as well. This is what most of the dealers use for a reason, because it is easy, quick, and it just works. Okay, so we do offer other tools as well, but I would class these as add-on tools rather than a tool that you can use all the time. You can use it all the time, but there will be limitations. There are limitations. What it does do, it does fantastically. Like, they are awesome, but there are some limitations. Okay, so this is AUTOTUNER. Okay, this tool was the first tool to have the MD1 and MG1 ECUs available, which is what we use to tune our development car with to read and write the software. So does it do MG1 and MD1s? Yes, it will do them through the OBD port. Now this tool is slightly different. So you've got Genius and TrustData, so you've got bench and OBD. This is bench and OBD and everything all in one. Okay. The other really nice thing about this is there are no subscriptions. Okay, so you don't pay every year to have subscriptions, to have the tool renewed for new protocols. The Genius, I think, is about £450. The TrustData is about £400. So it's £800 a year that you're going to have to pay to have new subscriptions. The tools still work perfectly well, but you don't get the brand new protocols. This has no subscriptions at all, and you will get all the brand new protocols as they're released. So it does MG1, MD1. Does it do MED17 and ED17? Yes, it does. Does it do EDC16 and earlier? No, it doesn't. Does it do OBD? Yes. Will it do bench? Yes. Will it do boot? Yes. But this, because it's bench and boot together, we sell this at £3,000. Okay, so that is basically these two tools together. But as you can see, you can't do earlier ECUs, so that can be quite limiting. It doesn't do a lot of Japanese stuff. It doesn't do Hondas, you know, Toyotas and things like that. It's not so great on those things. I mean, for BMW stuff, this is the go-to tool. This is what we pull out of the drawer every single time there's a BMW. This is first out, because it's utterly awesome at doing those. At doing other stuff, it's not so great. So, and obviously with the price as well. So you can do stuff on the bench with it, but if you're looking for just doing OBD, it's quite an expensive tool for not the largest amount of coverage. Okay. Now that is similar with another tool that we use, which is called, it's FLASHTEC CMD. Now this, for Volkswagen Audi group cars, there genuinely is not a better tool out there. All right. This can even flash in stock files. It can flash in FRF files, which is like dealership files, so you can update. You can date back software, you can do all the gearboxes, you can do all sorts of stuff with this, which is amazing. But this, again, is quite expensive. So it's more like an add-on rather than a staple. It does have its limitations with what ECUs it can do. It doesn't have this exact same amount of coverage as, say, the DIMSPORT Genius does at all. Like, the stuff that it does do, it does phenomenally well, but it's not that great. Bench and OBD for these, it's £5,130. That doesn't look like a 3, so I'll make it look like a 3. There we go. So £5,130, which, yes, is a lot of money. But, as I say, if you're only doing Volkswagen Audi group cars, this is the tool to get. Seriously, there is nothing better out there that we know of for Volkswagen Audi group cars. Yes, you can do all the Volkswagen Audi group cars with the other tools, but this, because you can update it, you can backdate them, you can do all sorts of wonderful stuff with it, it's awesome. So does it do OBD? Yes. Does it do MG1, MD1? Yes. Now you remember I said that there was the option of doing an MG1 and MD1 VAG group car through the OBD port. That is coming with CMD, okay? So you'll be able to run a patch on the ECU out of the car, and then you'll be able to write every file back in through the OBD port, which is pretty awesome. So most of the other tools will come with that as well. MED 17 and EDC 17, yes. Older stuff, yes, but some, not everything. And it won't do a lot of other stuff as well. Will it do bench? Yes. And will it do boot? Yes. But not as extensively covered as the others are. So it's not like a case of you can go, oh yeah, I can do any ECU. You can't. It just doesn't work like that. But what it does do is absolutely phenomenal. So realistically, after looking at all the ticks and the crosses and things like that, when you put Genius and Trust Data together, the actual price really isn't that bad, because you get all the coverage of pretty much all the cars under every single possibility. If you only want to do OBD tuning, this is by far the cheapest, but has by far the biggest coverage. Now you might think, well, why haven't we mentioned Alien Tech KES or KTAG? The reason being, we don't sell them anymore. I'm not interested in them. Reason being that the software that they use on the computers are horrifically slow. The support isn't fantastic. There aren't as many original files available on their servers. Also, you're reliant on a Windows-based device to be able to read and write the software into the car, and we all know how stable Windows are. You know, so, and that's the same with KTAG as well. But up until not too long ago, Alien Tech bought protocols from DIMSPORT for their tools. So the KES and the KTAG are based on those two tools. They have been there the whole time. They're awesome. They've worked it out. They're stable. We love them to death. Coding and uncoding files for the DIMSPORT stuff, for example, we can do that here on our computer. With Alien Tech, it has to go off to a server. Now, if that server's down for 20-25 minutes, you're sat waiting for 20-25 minutes for a file that we might have already tuned, but you're waiting for that file because the server isn't ready. Whereas on our computer, we can do it right here. So that's what we say. So, I mean, realistically, so we'll say coverage is okay, and there we'll put not the best. So hopefully that kind of gives you some idea. But yeah, if you're looking to get into the industry and you don't want to do bench stuff or pull an ECU out, the tool to go for is the DIMSPORT new Genius. But that's what we can supply. That's what is available. So yeah, hope you guys make your right decision. If you've got any questions, 0333 44136, you can email us, you can message us on Instagram, you can message us on Facebook. Anything you want to ask about them, give us a shout and we'll try and hook you up.